Welcome to the History Lord. You join us here and we're on the South Bank, we're in Southwark and we're just by the old Golden Hind, the replica ship there, and there's another tourist attraction just up there and that's the Clink Prison. But today we're going to be talking about this ruin behind us. This is Winchester Palace. Now Winchester Palace is a palace for a bishop, or it was built for a palace for a bishop, and it was built for a chap called Henry of Blois, and he was Bishop of Winchester back in the 12th century. Now the reason that the bishops of Winchester wanted the palace in London, unlike the Archbishop of Canterbury, is that they were noblemen. They were prince bishops as they were back then, and so they wanted to be close to the king at the Tower of London. They're also, Henry of Blois was also part of the Exchequer who looked after our money. The reason it looks like this today, well, let's have a look at the story, shall we? Welcome to London. The palace was in use until around about 1700, and it was converted and divided into warehouses and tenements, I believe. There was a fire in around about 1814 and most of it was destroyed, including part of the Great Hall, and the west gable at the end with its rose window became slightly more visible after this 19th century fire and 20th century redevelopments in the area. The Great Hall was built around about 1136. It was enlarged and the rose window was built in the 14th century, possibly by Bishop William of Wickenham, whose reign was 1367 to 1398, I believe. Below the main hall was a rather richly decorated vaulted cellar, and that had direct access to all the wharves on the River Thames, and that's where they brought in all of the supplies, including entertainers, and it's also where royal visitors landed to be taken into the palace. This included King James I of Scotland on his wedding to Joan Beaufort. She was the niece of the then bishop, Cardinal Henry Beaufort, and that was in 1424. The actual palace itself was arranged around two large courtyards, and the other buildings within the site included, believe it or not, a prison, a brewery, and, as you'd expect, a butchery and a kitchen. Also incorporated in the palace itself were gardens, a tennis court, and indeed a bowling alley. So Thomas Ogle was imprisoned here during the English Civil War. During that time he tried to draw in Thomas Devenish, who was a member of John Goodwin's independent congregation, into a royalist plot to split the parliamentarian independents from the Presbyterians. This was in order to assist Charles I's numbers in Parliament. It didn't succeed. Now another part of being a Bishop of Winchester was you were in charge of the Liberty of the Clink. What's that? Well, the Liberty of the Clink, we did a video all about Crossbones Cemetery earlier on our YouTube channel. I'm sure that's going to go on to TikTok one day. Or if it's on TikTok. James tells me it's already on TikTok, so there we are. Yes, that's where the Winchester geese were buried. The Winchester geese were the prostitutes of this area, and that's because they were allowed to practice their art as long as they gave 10% to the bishops. That's how they made money. They also made money from gambling and from theatres and things horrible, like things like bear baiting as well. There we are. Just move out of the way, James. There's a van coming. There we go. We do film on live streets. It's not all done in a studio, as some people imagine. Anyway, yes, so it was all, lots of their money came from prostitution, gambling and theatres, etc, etc. Now, sadly, on the night, I think it was the 7th of September 1940, one of the most damaging air raids of the first half of the Blitz, this was totally destroyed. By the end of the war, though, it was shored up, as it is now, the rose window, and it's now a memorial garden, and it's run by English Heritage. But there you go, that's the story of Winchester Palace. Thank you very much for watching. We do hope you enjoy these videos, and if you do, then, well, subscribe, tell your friends, in fact, tell everyone. And if you want to see what we do outside these videos, then please go to historylord.co.uk, see about one of my walking tours, or have a look Last Line Films, and that's James's YouTube and TikTok channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.